Well, hello and welcome to another edition of the GolfMonger Show. I'm your host, Brian Steff, and I am the GolfMonger. You can hit me up on Twitter at GolfMonger and yes, here at the station at The Golf Director. So it's Pebble Beach week here with the PGA Tour out at the old Clam Bake, as they used to call it back in the days, the old Bing Crosby. It's now the AT&T National Pro-Am. But celebrities abound. And that's just as much of the show as it is the golf out there on the Monterey Peninsula. And we'll get more into that a little bit later. A couple of things we'll take a quick look back at the playoff at TPC Scottsdale at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Jordan Spieth has a bobblehead. That's been a little bit of a topic. And
you don't have one?
I don't have one yet.
There's not a GolfMonger bobblehead?
A GolfMonger bobblehead. I thought that was Shan's job to work on. But I'm trying to get a Spieth bobblehead, and we can put it right here. But
all right,
Davis Love's already talking about getting ready for the Ryder Cup. Jack Nicklaus apparently was having a shindig for the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup, they didn't move the date, right? Ryder Cup's in September, right?
As far as I know.
Okay, just check.
They didn't ask me.
I thought you did. I thought I saw an email with your name on it, but
I may have been copied and didn't. I may have missed that one.
You might have missed that one. Yeah. So lots going on. We're going to cover here over the next 15, 20 minutes, but I want to bring in, as you're already hearing from the man behind the glass, the boss here, Mr. Jeff Gilder. How are you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. Doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You had a trip last week. We missed the show because you were in
Portland,
Oregon for some business.
It was rainy up there.
Yeah.
Think of that.
I've heard it rains there. I was going to ask. Did you take an umbrella?
How was the weather?
Did you take an umbrella?
No, I didn't, as a matter of fact.
They have one for you at the golf course where you went to?
No, I didn't go to a golf course.
You didn't? You went all that way and you didn't check out a golf course?
No, I didn't see the first golf course, man.
Shame on you. You at least got to look at one. Drive by one when you go places.
Yeah.
Anyway, so last week, so when you got back, did you watch golf before the Super Bowl?
I did not.
You did not.
I watched, I can't say, I didn't watch the playoff.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched some of the main round, but
right.
I didn't see the playoff.
Well, I don't think anybody saw the playoff because the playoff started when the Super Bowl came on. So what a nightmare scenario for the PGA Tour.
Oh, no kidding.
And NBC for, don't get me wrong, seeing two young guns like Hideki Matsuyama and Ricky Fowler going into a playoff,
which was great.
And the way it happened, the drama of Ricky. Plenty of guys put the ball in the water on 17. And for those of you that weren't watching because you were already at a Super Bowl party or celebrating or whatnot, the Super Bowl 50. Fowler used driver all week long on 17.
Yeah.
And he pulled out driver on the 71st hole. He's got a 2-stroke lead. So some people were already questioning why is he pulling out driver.
Yeah.
But the way he's been driving the ball all week, and lately, just dead straight, he put it in the water, but he put it in the water over the green.
Yeah.
So he hit a great tee shot. When it landed, he just caught a big bounce forward, and it hit the green hard and rolled through the green and into the water off the backside of the green. So he didn't tug it left like a lot of guys have hitting when they were going at that green and driver. He hit it through the green, which is amazing. 317-yard hole. Ricky's a bomber, but he's not the biggest guy, out there, the longest. But so Matsuyama landed short, chipped up close, tapped in his birdie. Fowler missed his par attempt on the par save. Couldn't get up and down from behind the green. So 2-shot swing, they were tied. They both birdied 18. Looked like Fowler might pull it off and recover well. Matsuyama had about an 18-foot putt for birdie that he drained. And then because Fowler stuck his approach shot, he went after Matsuyama, and he hit it to about 7 or 8 feet, right over top of the flag.
Which is something we've brought up here a time.
Listen, I was surprised because Matsuyama is not a good putter.
Well, I was getting to that. That's been the discussion. If Matsuyama if he ever figures out the putter, the dude's going to be unbelievable.
We have said that several times here on this show and on Fantasy Golf TV. That kid starts to putt because he's got a phenomenal swing.
Yep.
So if that kid ever figures out how to consistently putt, he's going to be, right up there winning more tournaments like this. And, Fowler let him in. It was over. If he doesn't put it in the water on 17, he wins. And then they get in the playoff and they go 4 playoff holes. And when they get to 17 again, he pulled out a 3 or 5 wood. It was a fairway metal, and he pulled that into the water left.
Yeah,
because I think he didn't want to hit driver again. and Matsuyama. Then Fowler missed his par putt. Matsuyama two-putted for par from 6 feet. You want to talk about just cozying it up there because you got 2 putts to win.
Yep.
But good for him. I mean, it's good. Another good young name getting a win. It's Matsuyama's second win. You hate it for Fowler. I mean, obviously a fan favorite, and he won a couple of weeks ago, and now they're overseas, and now they're looking for him to. If he'd have won again last week, I mean, now that's just he's on a roll, and he's still on a roll. I mean, losing in a playoff doesn't really take away too much other than not getting the win. He's still going to be on the short list of favorites coming up in a lot of tournaments, including the majors. But yeah, like nobody saw it. What a terrible way for that to play out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I had 4 or 5. We had people over at the house for a Super Bowl party, and for a while we had 2 TVs going. I had one on the sun porch, one in the den. So we had the pregame Super Bowl for anybody who watched pregame stuff in the small TV in the sunroom. We had the big screen on the golf because almost all the guys that were there watching were all golfers. So we were trying to watch the end of the golf right up to kickoff. And they still had 2 playoff holes. I mean, I didn't see the notice on Twitter pop up till like partway through the first quarter. It was like, oh my God, we missed a great finish. But so did probably the rest of the world or America, unless you were in attendance at TBC Scottsdale. You probably didn't see the end of the golf.
But what a polarizing event, okay? It's so unlike golf in so many ways because of the attendance. The way it's
right.
The way it's the fans and everything,
right.
and I hear both sides. You hear the purists say, "Yeah, rah, 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 rah."
Listen, the old stuff shirt purists that would still play golf in a shirt and tie and walk and play in knickers.
But I hear so many fans say if the PGA really wants to get a handle on how to increase this fan participation, we need to have more tournaments like that. What do you think?
I think we said that last week.
Yeah.
I think I made that comment to Jeff on Fantasy Golf TV. I said more tournaments were like Scottsdale, more fans might get excited. Now, it would definitely take away from the uniqueness and the fun that is Scottsdale that makes everybody that likes it look forward to it every year. And for those of you that aren't familiar, I mean, the way they enclose the 16th hole, it's completely enclosed by bleachers. They have 100,000 people watch just that. Yeah. Plus, watch just that hole over 4 days, and they're not quiet. They don't get quiet for you to hit your tee shot. Yeah. They heckle when you miss the green. They boo when you miss putts.
Well, you got guys like Zach Johnson out there who absolutely hates it, and then Ricky walks up to the tee box and he's doing his best pump up the crowd impersonation. Yeah. Guys like Ricky and some of the other young guys really have fun with it, and it's. And for the purists that don't like it, it's 1 week of the year. It's one tournament that they do they do that way. And for the most part, it's one hole. I mean, if you really want to break it down, it's not rowdy on every hole around the golf course. Yeah.
It's really just that one section. And it's tough on the guys teeing off on 17.
Yeah.
Because the tee box is literally right behind the grandstands off to the right of the 16th green. So, you got a lot of noise when you're teeing off on 17 too. But, I mean, get over it. You're trying to bring new and young people to the game of golf. I believe it was Jordan Spieth was one of the guys that came out. And he didn't even play. And he came out and said, I think they ought to do more tournaments like Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even in the field.
Maybe that's why he said it.
Has he ever even played there?
I don't know.
But, listen, I don't see anything wrong with it. I
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's every week, but the game of golf is changing. It has to, just like anything else. But we're going from one great venue to another this week, staying out on the West Coast, where they're out on the Monterey Peninsula for the AT&T National Pro-Am, where you got Pebble Beach, and they play the 3 courses out there. They play Spyglass, Monterey Country Club, and then Pebble Beach, and Bill Murray and Clint Eastwood and Wayne Gretzky and Andy Garcia and Ray Romano and any number of athletes and actors, Chris O'Donnell. I'm just rambling some names.
But did I hear Bill Murray's not there this year?
Is he not?
I heard Bill Murray's not in it.
I can't imagine he's not. I can't imagine.
I haven't actually seen it, but I heard.
I'll have to look that up. I can't imagine that he's not. I mean, unless he's got some kind of scheduling conflict. But he's there every year. I mean, he's like the main attraction. And the unique thing about that is it's a 54-hole cut because of the Pro-Am. So everybody plays through to Saturday. And then if for the pros, what's really unique is you can miss the cut in the professional part of the tournament. But if you and your amateur partner make the cut in the Pro-Am, you still get to play on Sunday. You're just not working towards winning any more money. You've missed the cut in the PGA event, but you're still playing in the Pro-Am on Sunday. So that's different.
Yeah, and for the pro, that's got to be kind of like kissing your sister. You know?
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be brutal to know that I missed the cut, but I still got to go out and tee it up and try to. And you feel an obligation
for 6.5 hours.
And you feel an obligation to help your amateur partner out. You know, because they're trying. They don't give a damn that. If I'm the amateur and my pro misses a cut, but we're in the hunt. Your game, buddy, because this is about my only chance, right? I mean, think about it. You're on television. You're on CBS. You're at Pebble Beach. This may be your only chance if you're an amateur.
Yeah, don't bring your attitude.
Hey, listen, don't go out and get all drunk up and come out hungover tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, don't bring that.
Don't bring that. I wish I was already on the bus to the next stop attitude with you, bro.
Yeah.
You need to bring your game because I want to win this damn thing. Yeah, I mean, you imagine being that amateur having to play with a pro that missed the. And you know what happens? I guarantee if you look through the years, there are Pro-Am teams in contention that the pro didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Because if you got an amateur with a high enough handicap that scored well enough, they can carry you for a while. And I'm gonna be like, you better bring your game, brother. I don't want to hear this woe is me crap. I missed the cut. I wonder how many of those conversations happen in the first heat. Listen. I've been dragging your ass for 3 days. How about showing up today? You think that amateur? How'd you like to be an amateur? Get to say that to a pro? Might be the last time he gets invited back to Pebble Beach. By the way,
make the most of it.
Better do it. Yeah, because this is your last. This is your last time. Who do you like this week?
Man,
I missed out on Jeff's show on Tuesday. We didn't get to talk fantasy.
Yeah.
I had some.
I don't even know who. I can't remember who I put on my team. Let me see who I've got.
We'll tell you while you're looking that up. In my predictions yesterday on my blog there at thegolfmonger.com, I like, and it's always different. What I really like to predict on my blog site is sometimes different than my fantasy team because you only got so many picks with the guys in fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I get every week pick the same 3 guys on my blog. It's just my opinion. But I like Sneds because he's won there twice. Dustin Johnson's won there twice.
This is scaring me.
And at some point, I've gotten over my stubbornness. At this point, if Jordan Spieth's in the field, you got to consider him a favorite. Whether you want to pick him for fantasy or not, because you only got 10 times to use him. But as far as predicting who could win, if the kid's in the field, he's a favorite. If you don't think he's one of the top guys you should pick, you're nuts at this point.
So my A team,
go ahead.
I'm starting Johnson, got Spieth on the bench because I figured Johnson is going to choke in the 4th round, and that's when I'll put Spieth in.
I started Spieth and have Johnson on the bench.
Really? That's scary. Okay, on my B team, I got Sned starting.
Yeah.
And Patrick Reed.
I have Sneds and Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker has also won here a couple of times.
I was tempted, but I took Jimmy out. I've got Jerry Kelly on the bench and Troy Merritt.
I have Jason Duffner and John Curran on the bench.
Yeah, I consider Duffner too. That's a good one.
Duff's played well lately, and Curran is
and
a T10 here last year. And he was T11 last week. And get this stat. 64 consecutive putts made from 8 feet and in last week in Phoenix.
Yep.
64 in a row from 8 feet and in. So let me take that guy's putter. Let me take that guy's putter.
That's impressive for him. I could do that.
From 8 feet in? Well, yeah. Yeah, but your problem is your putts are for like 6s and 7s when you're putting from 8 feet and in. He's putting for 3s and 4s.
So here's where I got some raised eyebrows from your buddy Jeff Deal on my C team.
What you got?
Starting Vijay Singh.
Wait a minute. Wait, I don't think my earphones. Can you check the sound back there?
Hey,
did you say
check his round 1 stats?
Did you say Vijay Singh?
I did.
Who's your other guy?
Will Wilcox.
Okay, so you're going to play Wilcox on the weekend.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, Vijay first round.
Because once Vijay shoots 65, then
the first round, Vijay's in for the first round. That's all I'm doing.
Well, and it depends on which course he's playing. You got to look at that too, because they're playing 3 courses, and some of them play easier than the others. So this is one of those rounds that's just not so easy to say, hey, this guy plays well on the first day, this guy plays well on the second day. You got to see what courses they're playing, and the scoring averages. Because the Peninsula Country Club always plays easy. The toughest one to score on a Spyglass of the three, if memory serves. So, but anyway, I have Shane Lowry starting, and then Chesson Hadley is my bench guy out of the C group. So the C group was huge. You can tell this is a big event. There was like 100. Looked like there was 100 names in the C group.
Oh no, yeah, it was.
But I mean, Pebble Beach is a place where how about this? Jason Day's in the field, and we didn't even mention his name.
Yep. I had him starting at one point,
yeah.
but I moved
Bubba Watson's in the field. We didn't mention him. Phil Mickelson's in the field.
There's
we didn't
a reason
mention him.
we didn't mention Bubba Watson.
Yeah, and there's a big reason people were mentioning him in Phoenix last week.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, as much as I like to watch him hit a golf ball, that guy's got nothing between the ears.
Nothing. Zero.
He can't.
Absolutely nothing.
What an idiot.
Yep. I agree. 100%.
You realize if he would keep his mouth shut, does he even not have a PR guy?
Oh, and the PR guy was on his ass after what he said.
I mean, then he needs a better PR guy that can see it coming.
Well, he needs one that can control him.
Instead of a reactive guy, he needs a guy. Right, he needs a guy that can put him on the leash and keep him under control.
Yeah.
You realize the way Bubba plays the game and how amazing his shots are and how good he can be. He could rule the world of golf.
Yeah.
With his with his fun-loving attitude and whatever and the way he can be outspoken. But for God's sakes, when you're playing in a tournament and people ask you like the course, you don't say, no, I hate this place.
Yeah, well, he says
I'm only here because of sponsor obligations. You don't say that.
He says he's going to quit when he wins 10.
I hope he wins 10 next week.
Well, he could the next two.
Get him the hell out. If that's his attitude.
There's about 200 golfers that have gotten together and said they're going to lay down.
They're going to lay down so he wins this week and next week, so he'll go away.
Yeah.
I only want to watch him at Augusta because it's amazing what he can do at that golf course.
It's amazing what he can do with it.
And then the rest of the time, it gets annoying with his antics and the things he says. And then he came back and said, I apologize to the people of Phoenix and here at Scottsdale. I'll be back, and I won't say that anymore.
Yeah, right.
They're not going to want you back. And you know what those fans on 16 are going to do to him?
Oh, yeah.
What they're going to do, what they're going to do to him?
Yeah.
I mean, what an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's a because I like watching him hit a golf ball because what he can do, nobody else. I mean, people can't do what he does. He doesn't even know how to hit a straight ball. I mean, every ball he hits has shape to it. We should all want to watch Bubba Watson play golf. Instead, most of us, we cringe because if he's not in the right mindset or he doesn't like the golf course, he's an ass.
Yep. So,
I mean,
so the reason that we're not picking him this week is because of
because he's got the red ass from last week, so which means he probably won't play well.
He's got all those voices going around. in his head,
right now he's hearing.
He's got both those guys sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah,
do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it. Say it, don't say it.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I stayed well away from him here this week for sure too, which means he'll probably win.
Yeah,
and I'll be back here next week, dog cussing him, but. Anyway, I wanted to touch base real quick before we get out of time because I did mention it a bit. Is it too early to start talking about the Ryder Cup?
Never
for
too
Davis
early.
Love. Not for us to talk about it, but I'm talking about for Captain Love to be already putting a lot of thought into this. Are they trying so hard that are we gonna outthink ourselves? When I say we, I mean Team USA.
Well, I mean, I think that would be a start.
And the brain trust.
Are they going to outthink themselves? I think a little thought would be a good place to start.
No, but a little thought.
Yeah.
Listen, we ran down the list a couple of weeks ago of the if it ended today, who the automatic qualifiers were, and we actually went further down and looked at the top 12. And let me tell you, I'd take that team in a heartbeat. I'm gonna pull that up here real quick while we're talking, but. Normally, traditionally, the talk for the Ryder Cup, the captain doesn't start talking to players that he thinks potentially are going to make the team or anything like that. Really doesn't start until around Memorial, which is in May. Right before the summer. To be like, hey, we got a few months. These are the 12. Other than the automatic qualifiers, they take about 12 or 15 guys and say, listen, okay, you guys, there's a real potential that you guys are either going to earn your way onto the team or you might be, I think you might be a captain's pick. So, I get it that they're, they do that, but he's talking about doing it like at the Honda in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whenever the Honda Classic's coming up. I mean, we're in February, or that'll be like the 1st of March. Is that too early? I mean, do even the players even want to hear about it that early?
All right, now you were probably one of those many who criticized the crap out of them in the past, and you're going to criticize the guy for having a plan?
No.
You're going to say he's too early?
No. Well, I don't mind that he has a plan. I like that part. All I'm asking, and I don't even know I'm criticizing it. I'm saying, is it too early?
You're just asking the question.
Yeah, I'm asking.
You're just
the question.
throwing it out there.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't have a firm opinion on this one yet. I'm throwing it out there. You know, it won't take me long to have a firm opinion.
GolfMonger without a firm opinion.
You don't won't take me long to have a firm opinion.
Opinionated man.
But I don't want them to outthink themselves. Okay. That's really kind of where I'm starting. I'm fearful that DL3 is so worried and there's so much pressure to get the cup back, and we're playing in the States again this time, is after how dreadful Glen Eagles was, is there a lot of pressure to get that back? And they've created this task force. I mean, are they overdoing it? That's my question.
I guess we'll find out.
Because here's the thing. If it ends today, you got, in order, Jordan Spieth, Branson Snedeker, Dustin Johnson, Zach Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Phil Mickelson, Kevin Kisner, Jason Duffner, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, J.B. Holmes, and Bubba Watson are the top 12. Now, the only top 8 automatically qualify. There's 4 captains' picks. But I'm just running down for the sake of argument the top 12. So if you take, let me tell you that if you take that top 12, I'm not sure how that team loses.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper. I know you look at the other side, it'll be impressive too with McIlroy and Shane Lowry and Justin Rose and I know I'm missing a few guys, but you know, obviously they're going to be solid as well. But I mean, the way, just looking at how they've been playing over the last 6 months with Spieth and Fowler and Duffner's winning again, and Patrick Reed has won, and you know Bubba Watson's won. I mean, all these guys are playing well. Then you go a little further, you got Kevin Na, Bill Haas, Kevin Streelman, Gary Woodland. You know, you go down a little further, and the article that I read on golf.com said that he's going to take like the top 20 or 30 guys and bring them together and start conversations with them. So I guess I'm just throwing it out there. My hope is that they're not overthinking it, putting too much on it. Jordan Spieth, I like what he said best a couple weeks ago when he just said, I'm tired of watching us lose, and it's time for us young guys to take this thing over and get it back.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, he's starting to become a very vocal number 1 player in the world.
Yeah, I really
and I like it. And I like it. He's I think he's realized that his place as the number 1 golfer in the world, he needs to have an opinion. He can't just be the young kid that just shows up and plays.
Yep.
He's got to be vocal. People want to hear what he has to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I like it. I like it. That was probably the best thing he said, because we said that 2 years ago. Stop taking the old guys. Stop taking the guys that are experienced Ryder Cuppers, because all they're experienced at is losing. And let the young dogs go out there and go get it. Maybe it's a blessing that they haven't had any experience, because they're not experienced the loss.
Absolutely true.
There's pressure every week on tour. It's a different kind of pressure when you're feeling the pressure of your teammates. But let them go for it, man. I tell you what, that team right there, Spieth, I mean, DJ, Zach Johnson, Fowler, Kevin Kisner, Duff, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka. I'd love to see bombers like Koepka and Holmes on the Ryder Cup. Are you kidding me? In a head-to-head or an alternate shot, put big, go for it, guys. I mean, I love that. I love that. So, I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards I don't care. I like DL3, so I'm sure he's got a good plan. But my only fear is starting earlier than normal. Are you putting too much pressure on yourself early? I guess that's what kind of where I'm leaning. That was kind of the question I was throwing out there. So, argue with me, don't argue with me, agree with me, at GolfMonger, hit me on Twitter, tell me I'm an idiot, whatever you think. Because I don't really care, because I'll argue back with you no matter what you say.
I believe that.
I will. So before we get out of here, I can't go by the week without Super Bowl without bringing it up real quick. What'd you think?
About Super Bowl?
Yeah, I loved it.
I thought it was fantastic.
I loved it.
I did too, yeah.
I loved it. And our good friend Steve Hunt over here shaking his head. He's been living in Charlotte. He's probably
he's a Panther.
He's a Panther fan. He said. Let me tell you why I don't like it. As someone living here in the Carolinas, I've lived here in Myrtle Beach for over 17 years, and a big football fan, and coming from a fan of a team with long tradition, as a Steeler fan, I can't stand the wishy-washiness of Panther fans. I can't.
Let them have it, man.
I can't.
Yeah.
I know this is a golf show, but I can't. when they're 2 years ago when they were 8-8, you didn't see a single T-shirt or hat walking around town. This year they go 15-1, go to the Super Bowl, and you can't go 3 steps without seeing somebody with a hat or a T-shirt or a sweatshirt on. But they also can't tell you anybody on the team besides Cam Newton. And they can't pronounce Luke Kuechly properly.
Yeah.
That Ketchley guy, that linebacker, the white guy, he's good. I mean, I work part-time in a sports store, and we sell their stuff. And you would not believe the number of people come in there and want to, who's 59? Pardon me? You're a Panther fan? You want to know who 59 is? Please leave my store. You're not smart enough to purchase anything here. I mean, I'm not even, and I'm by far a Peyton Manning fan. I didn't like him in Tennessee, being a West Virginia guy. I didn't like him in Indianapolis, being a Steeler fan. I certainly don't like him in Denver, being a Steeler fan. I'm not a Peyton Manning fan. But I was rooting my rear end off for Denver. Here, let me put it this way. I was rooting for Carolina to lose. I can't even say I was rooting for the Broncos to win.
Well, having grown up in Tennessee, I was a Peyton Manning fan.
Sure, so it was good for you.
Yeah,
so it's good for you. I knew that's where you were going to go when I asked the question.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that I don't like – I was never a Cam Newton fan when he was at Auburn, so that doesn't help that I don't like the quarterback. And I did feel bad for the 2 Coastal Carolina kids that play for Charlotte because being here in the beach, I'm a big CCU follower. And they both didn't play very well. And, I mean, Tolbert fumbled a couple of times. One he recovered, but one they turned over, and Denver got some points out of it. Josh Norman did all right, but then he got the holding penalty in the end zone that set up the touchdown that kind of put the dagger at the end of the game. I mean, I kind of felt bad for the 2 local kids, but yeah. And I thought that I was shocked at Lady Gaga's national anthem.
I thought shocked that it was good?
That it was good.
Yeah, I was shocked as well.
So when they announced she was singing the national anthem,
here.
I was like smacked my.
Same here. I thought, oh God, this is gonna be a train wreck.
Are you kidding me?
She did a beautiful job.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's right up there with some of the better ones.
I agree
100%.
I didn't like her eyelids.
It's not Whitney Houston level yet.
But
I didn't like her hair. I mean, it looked like some kind of helmet thing.
And she couldn't hold her eyes open for all the crap she had on her eyelids.
Well, hell, it looked like she had 3 inches of glitter on her eyelids. I mean, probably was hard to keep her eyes open.
But she sang the crap out of it.
But it was a great anthem. She was demonstrative too. While she didn't stand there like a statue, it was good. But the halftime show was awful.
I didn't watch it.
It was you didn't miss anything. I wish I didn't watch it.
I like Coldplay a lot, but I didn't see it.
But Coldplay's not a halftime football show band. Their songs are more mellow.
Yep.
And even trying to mix in Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
The best part of Bruno Mars was they did Uptown Funk was the song he did, which everybody likes.
Yeah.
Beyonce damn near fell down dancing.
Did she?
Yeah, at one point. I mean, it was a train wreck. It was terrible. And apparently the guy from Coldplay can't stand up straight and sing.
No, he's got to bend over.
Yeah, I noticed that. I like some of their songs. I like some of their songs. I don't know enough about him. Like I said, I had to say the guy. I don't even know his name. Chris Martin.
Yeah.
But when he sings, he has to, like, his head's too heavy when he sings.
Yeah.
Like he has to lean forward.
Yeah. Always has.
Yeah. I like I said, I've never seen Coldplay. I've heard. I like a few of their songs. I mean, if I notice it on the radio, I can. Yeah. He's got a good voice, but it's not Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah.
Type material.
Yeah.
And the 50th, the anniversary. I mean,
so should we have a halftime at Augusta this year?
I would love it. After 36 holes, have a party. You should.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't do it like at the turn because everybody turns at a different time. But after 36 holes, after the cut, have a party.
Yeah.
At all the majors.
Yeah.
At Augusta, at the U.S. Open. Well, the Open Championship, the Brits might not want to join in our halftime thing because that's an American thing. Yeah. So we might have to skip that one. But then at the PGA,
there's a lot of beer there. They might.
Well, there's always beer in there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
so there's hope.
I mean, like your boy Peyton, he's going to drink a lot of Budweiser.
How much did he get paid for that?
Okay, I want to know how much he got paid for that, and I wonder how much it cost him to let Papa John kiss him out on the field. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he owns a company now. I mean, Peyton Manning's the owner of Papa John's. I know that. I wonder how much. I wonder what that costs for Papa John to be on the field, and then how much for him to say, because he said it twice.
Yeah.
If he'd have just said, "Hey, I'm because say Budweiser's his favorite beer.
Yeah.
So if he'd have just made the comment, said, "Hey, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to kiss my wife. I'm going to kiss my kids. I'm going to drink a lot of Budweiser tonight."
Yeah.
But he first said, "I'm going to drink a lot of beer," and then he corrected himself and said, "I'm going to drink a lot of Budweiser." Not once.
Yeah.
But twice.
Yep.
So how much did Budweiser pay him?
Oh, that's a bunch.
I don't care if it's his favorite beer or not.
It's a boatload.
I'm sure.
Which was
a beer truck full, by the way.
Which was a great deal. Yeah.
I'm sure it was. All right, so since we got totally hashtag back on the cart path.
We're off the cart
Let's
path.
but it's Super Bowl,
yeah,
right? We are sports fans.
Yeah.
Even though we're in golf, we are sports fans. It's
Is golf a sport?
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely it is.
All right.
So, all right, well, now let's bring this back around. It's been a lot of fun. 2 weeks out. 2 weeks ago, we were in Florida at the PGA show. Last week, you were in the great Northwest.
Yep.
And now we're back. So we're back on track in Pebble Beach. I think if I had to pick one guy, I'm going to go DJ.
Yeah. I like DJ.
He plays well out there.
Yep, he does.
And it's time for him to win again.
Yeah.
Make things more interesting.
I heard he's building a house out there, so it's going to be home for him.
And his father-in-law will be there probably playing with his father-in-law in the Pro-Am.
Yep.
So, comfy. I think it's time for him to win again because then that'll make the conversation even more exciting as we're leading into Augusta. Because you'll have Spieth and Day and Fowler and Watson, and then you can throw Dustin's name in there. You know, the more names we can talk about leading up to Augusta, the more fun it'll be for our live broadcast.
Absolutely.
From there. So, but we're going to wrap it up. This has been the GolfMonger Show. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, Jeff. It's been a good conversation today. And next week, Steve's standing over there in the corner. We're going to put him on this side of the camera next time and get his thoughts on this.
He's got opinions too.
He says he's mild mannered, but
no one's as opinionated as you.
He's not. No.
But Steve has opinions.
Yeah, not as many as me.
Yeah.
The TG Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Digital Network for thegolfdirector.com. When you're visiting the Golf Director, make sure you check out our featured golf course pages. That's where you're going to find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and more. This is booking season for golf. We're busy, so get your calls in. Go to the website. Hit up Dave, 844-464-6531. If you dilly-dally, you won't get your spring tee time. So get on the stick and get down here and see us. All of the Golf Director programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. You can catch up on a show that you might have missed. You can click on the radio or TV tabs right there in the menu at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices. We're on iTunes and Audio Realm, TuneIn. We're on YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry. We're on Periscope, catchme.com, and here local, the Myrtle Beach Golf app. Again, this has been the GolfMonger Show. I'm your host, Brian Steffen, at GolfMonger on Twitter. Follow us up. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to Jeff behind the glass, because if it wasn't for him, I'd be standing here talking to myself. There's great news and information coming up next, and as always, keep it in the short grass.